Right now, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers and scientists are sitting down for a full day on UFO transparency. The same week, the group behind that event announced it will point artificial intelligence at decades of NASA records that almost no one has reviewed. And a longtime figure from the experiencer world is pressing a topic that keeps growing. There's also an update on the Iran pilot who reported a jellyfish-shaped formation. Hey ufologers, I'm Cristina Gomez, and this is your UFO News Update. Starting with the Disclosure Foundation event. It is a bipartisan, non-profit event, and Beatrice Villarreal announced that it will review NASA's archives for UAP. A new executive committee will run the work. It includes Mike Gold, a former NASA Associate Administrator, and Dr. Brothers, a former Homeland Security scientist and technology official, and both have served on NASA's earlier UAP Independent Study Group. The committee also brings in astronomer Beatrice Villarreal, theoretical physicist Monelli Durkashani, an aerospace engineer and Skinwalker Ranch scientist Travis Taylor, and clinical psychologist Stefan Brule, working with executive director Jordan Flowers. And this plan is to run NASA's archives through artificial intelligence and machine learning tools, flagging anything anomalous, and share the findings with the public and with government agencies. The first in-person meeting is set for July. A recent UAP Files podcast conversation with Professor Michael Ballander, a Burham University law professor and former international judge, put the purpose of a review like this, and it's a very interesting point of view.
I feel like there's a ton of evidence. Proof is a different standard, isn't it? And you'll know more than most.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There's a conflation of what these two concepts mean. Evidence is data. Any kind of data can be evidence. Proof is what you make of those data. And that's, so we're not actually talking about what evidence is sufficient evidence. So you can't pin a standard on the evidence. What you can do is you pin a standard on what constitutes proof.
NASA's archives are already full of that kind of data. Images, sensor logs, mission records. But what has been missing is anyone willing to sort it out, which is kind of strange given NASA's independent UAP study group created in 2022 and then gave a media briefing on their lack of findings in 2023. The foundation has pointed to its own polling, which found NASA is the government body the public trusts most on the subject. The Disclosure Foundation is hosting a full day of panels today, June 25th, in the Kennedy Caucus Room inside the Russell Senate Office building. The room includes Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who heavily advocated for the Aero office, along with Eric Burleson, Tim Burchett, and even Christopher Mellon and Avi Loeb, who chairs the UAP Science Advisory Council. Loeb's council does work with Aero, the Alt-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which is the Pentagon's office that studies these types of cases, and he has said every piece of data it reviews will be unclassified. If this team finds a real anomaly inside NASA's old data, do you think the government will act on it? Or do you think it will just quietly go away? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Now here is a quick update on the F-15 pilot who reported a jellyfish-shaped drone formation over Iran. I covered it in detail yesterday, but here is the latest. Analysts have started weighing in, and earlier assessments point to an Iranian infrared air defense missile, or a shoulder-fired weapon, as the more likely cause of the shootdown, not a drone swarm. Now, there is still no public evidence the formation downed the object, and some reviewers read the word minefield as loose wording rather than a literal description. But this is not the first time a jellyfish-shaped object has hovered over a war zone. In 2024, Jeremy Corbell released thermal infrared footage of a jellyfish-shaped object captured over a U.S. Joint Operations base in Iraq and took place in around 2018. The object showed a rounded upper body with leg-like appendages moving deliberately across the base, and reportedly descended into nearby water before climbing back out. Troops on the base treated it as a kind of ghost story, and some Marines were tasked with keeping an eye on it. Skeptics floated a balloon, a drone, or even a camera artifact, and the Pentagon would not confirm or deny the material. The two events are not the same thing, one a reported conventional drone swarm, and the other an unexplained object, but the shapes keep showing up in the same kind of place. Now take from that what you want. If you are enjoying these kinds of daily breakdowns with clips and context together, take this moment to subscribe. Then, on the Weaponized podcast with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell, experiencer and author Whitley Strieber described where the disclosure conversation sits right now, and George Knapp also chimes in on his ideas.
Disclosure is something that Jeremy and I hear every day. The president says he's going to release the files. The vice president says he's going to get to the bottom of it. And it's, by the way, it's demons. The Office of Director of National Intelligence conducted its own little secret study. Organizations are getting together within the government and sharing information. The public has expectations.
And there's been an FBI investigation of this going on now for a few years. And I've always been concerned about it. It's very secret, and it may not even be going on anymore. I don't know. It was going on 3 years ago, though I do know. And I thought to myself at the time, they know a lot of things because I know some of the things they know, and they're not pretty at all. But an investigation like that would it be to tell the truth? Or would it be to say, well, we've been investigating this, the FBI has been investigating this for 3-4 years, and we've concluded that the abductions never happened?
That capture frustrates a lot of people right now. The promises keep coming from the top, but the public is still waiting to see what actually gets released. Strieber has spent decades on this subject, and his point is that the talk has outspaced the proof for years. From there, Strieber pointed away from politics and back to the data, and it connects straight to the NASA review that we discussed earlier. He brought up the kind of old overlooked records that a team with modern tools could finally examine.
Beatrice Villarreal published a paper in Nature recently that was attempted to be debunked by another scientist, Kevin Nuth, who's unfortunately his math didn't work out. And then there's another paper from another telescope saying that they're finding the same thing Beatrice did, which was unknown objects around Earth back in that were being recorded by the Palomar telescope back in the 50s. So they've been here a long time. They may be part of this. And as we were talking about earlier, maybe they created us. Maybe we're a game. Maybe we're a toy.
Villarreal studies points of light that appear in sky survey images from before the first satellites were launched. If something reflective was photographed in orbit before humans put anything up there, there is an anomaly that needs an answer. And her name is now on the NASA Archives Committee. And that returns us to Bonlander, who separated two things people often blur: the credibility of a witness and the reliability of the account.
There are two things when witnesses give evidence. It's their own credibility, that attaches to the person. But the question is also reliability, and that attaches to the evidence. So first of all, you have to find out whether a person is credible.
Right.
And most of the time, that process is actually linked. How do they tell their evidence? What is their previous life, previous character? Have they been known to be kind of economical with the truth or not? Is there a motive that they have for making such a statement? All of that factors into the credibility.
So apply that across today. The Iran pilot is credible but uncooperated. Strieber's testimony is credible to the people who know him and still wait on outside support. The old telescope plates are data points that have been buried for decades. In each case, the evidence exists. Proof is the harder step, and it depends on someone testing it. The forum today and the NASA review are both reaching for that step, hopefully. And of everything moving right now, the forum, the NASA archives, or a single credible witness willing to testify under oath, which one do you think actually moves disclosure forward? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Cristina Gomez. That's it for today. I will see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST for another UFO news update. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies. enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the notification bell as I do daily UFO news and updates. Fresh UAP stories, government disclosures, and breaking developments land here every single day.